By Wednesday afternoon, Astana was hit with a heavy storm. Due to poor weather conditions in the form of snow and blizzards, the authorities had to close all highways leading to the city. Specialists forecasted that the weather was to change for the worse right during the OSCE summit and issued a new storm warning for Thursday. Wind gusts are expected to reach 22 meters per second and the air temperature will drop additional 12 degrees.
While passionate debates and recriminations raged inside Independence Palace, Astana was hit with storm winds and snowfall. The weather changed rapidly, with visibility worsening in just a half an hour. By midday, the capital and its guests were completely isolated, as the road police of the Akmola region had to close all roads from Astana due to poor weather conditions. A big group of special vehicles was dispatched to clean the highway after the heavy snowfall and blizzards. According to some reports, the weather left half of the residents of the neighboring Kokshetau with no electricity. For the second day already, Astana resembles a closed city. Everyone but officials, delegations of the OSCE member states and presidential motorcades are forbidden to use city roads. The alleys and intersections are patrolled by heavily armed policemen. In addition, weather specialists forecast blizzards, heavy snowfalls and a drop of temperatures in the days of the summit.
The number of hunger-striking real estate investors in Astana grew during the most important political event of the year. Now about 300 people are trying to make the authorities take notice and help them solve their housing problems.
The activists have set up 4 apartments as a site of the hunger strike. On Monday morning, the strikers took their places on the spread mattresses right on the floor. The coordinators of the hunger strike say the health condition of the action participants is satisfactory and no one needs medical treatment so far. This protest will last for 2 days. People hope that their campaign will be noticed by the arrival to the summit heads of states, which could influence the leadership of Kazakhstan. The defrauded real estate investors say that the authorities do nothing to give people with housing which they rightfully own. Co-investors warn that unless the situation will be improved, they will organize new, even more drastic measures. We have been heard after all. Yesterday we gave an interview to a German reporter and he promised to publish his material. I believe the international community is well informed about our problems, even better than our own citizens.
The Almaty branch of the ruling party Nuratan hosted a conference on the housing issues, namely reviewing the problem of mortgagers from the movement Leave Housing to People. Just recently, members of this and other organizations appealed with an open letter to the heads of the OSCE member states.
The country has a rigid authoritarian regime supported by official political institutions and business community of the so-called developed Western countries. The result of Kazakhstan's chairmanship in the OSCE convinced the progressive and democratically minded citizens that participation in the OSCE is absolutely pointless. The meeting itself looked like a farce. Seri Kakhanov, the head of the Kazakh Financiers Association, had to cover up for the Financial Supervision Agency, leadership of commercial banks, government and even the OSCE, all of the bodies contacted previously by the activists. It seems that Akhanov was notified about the conference at the last minute. Later on, the dialogue was joined by the Financial Supervision Agency representatives, who proposed to meet some other time without clarifying the exact date. The activists of the Leave Housing to People are confident that the authorities are trying to evade their problems and divert the attention of displeased Kazakh residents. This is done to prevent people from entering the streets in protest and spoiling the image of the OSCE chair in front of the guests.
In the past, all OSCE members signed a number of documents to ensure citizens' rights for a peaceful assembly. Kazakhstan's legislature stipulates that international instruments have a priority over the local norms. Nevertheless, domestic law enforcement often act as rigid suppressors of most peaceful protest actions in the country.
The year of chairmanship in the OSCE didn't change the situation with the rights of Kazakh citizens for peaceful assembly. On the contrary, in such an important time for the country, The authorities have tightened the control over statements made by Kazakh citizens. Public activists called the actions of the authorities during the May Day demonstration in Almaty an act of lawlessness. Back then, a peaceful rally was blocked near the office of the unregistered party Alga by police cordons of over 800 law enforcement officers. Those who attempted to break through were taken to a police station. More than a dozen activists were later subjected to various penalties, ranging from fines to administrative arrests. The country has a number of laws regulating peaceful assembly, including the Article 32 of the Constitution, an administrative code, as well as several international pacts. In reality, though, Kazakhstan implements some rather unusual standards of chairmanship. After the enactment of the law on the leader of the nation in May of 2010, the opposition decided to hold a national referendum to impeach the president. The event was scheduled for September. However, the participants were rigidly pressured, with some taken off trains heading to the referendum, brought to administrative responsibility and intimidated. A small village of Zhanaozen in western Kazakhstan became famous throughout the country overnight. In March, more than 10,000 oil workers went on strike there, demanding to improve working conditions and raise wages. The workers also appealed to the OSCE, asking to somehow influence the authorities. Later, the organizers of the strike were fined, and a trade union activist, Dagan Kashanov, was even sentenced to 1-year probation for drug possession. This was seen by other workers as a simple intimidation. On the eve of the OSCE summit, members of the movement 2012, which unites defrauded mortgage holders and real estate investors, appealed to the heads of organizations' member states. They asked for the support of the international community in ending the practice of extrajudicial sale of housing in Kazakhstan, as well as democratization of the law on peaceful assembly. This led to the arrest of 6 people, including a pregnant woman. Public activists say that all of these acts show that an attempt to improve the image of Kazakhstan through its chairmanship in the OSCE is a total fiasco. We are witnessing the unwillingness to address the issue. It can be resolved only when the state shows the political will to do so.
Reporters working for analytical websites noted that the first day of the OSCE summit went in complete silence of the Kazakh opposition. This, however, is not surprising, since some of them are arrested for peaceful rallies, while others are accused of evading taxes. Vladimir Kozlov, the leader of unregistered party Alga, could soon face up to 2 years of imprisonment. The tax committee demands him to repay the unaccounted amount of $23,000 in addition to a fine of $17,000. The opposition disagrees with the accusations. The hearing on the case was held on Wednesday in the Economic Court of Almaty, where Kozlov claimed the actions of the tax committee were unjustified.
The tax committee claims Vladimir Kozlov evaded taxes for $23,000. The opposition's problems with fiscal started immediately after he declared himself a presidential candidate. Supposedly, the property bought by Kozlov for the party costs much more than he actually possessed. No, the property is not bought using the assets with unknown origin. The leader of Alga filed a lawsuit against the unjust actions of the tax committee. The money found by the fiscals belongs to his business partner, the president of the public fund, Muratbek Kitibayev. Muratbek Kitibayev provided Kozlov with $827,000 as a loan to buy real estate. This money is absolutely legal, and he had enough of it to cover the expenses. Members of Alga believe all of this is not a coincidence, and soon the tax committee will ask for a criminal case, which could see Kozlov facing up to 2 years in prison for something he never did. He doesn't have to pay taxes for money borrowed from a friend, although the tax committee doesn't want to hear any arguments. We're talking about the legalized money. However, if Kozlov bought apartments, there should not have been anything left to legalize. So what did he legalize then? It is also not clear whether he bought apartments with legalized money or with assets borrowed from Kitibayev. Observers do not understand what is so unclear about the situation for the tax inspectors. After all, there is a no-try statement of Muratbek Kitibayev, which clearly says that he gave money to Kozlov. Lawyer Utkin believes the charges against the party leader are politically motivated and stem from the opposition's intention to run for presidency. Kozlov says that the fiscals deal only with the amount used to buy the real estate, although there were assets accumulated long before 2006.
These were all the latest news from Kazakhstan. Join us tomorrow for more. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.